Most people think the mv command just moves files, but it actually does something else that's just as important. It renames files too. And if you don't understand that, you're going to confuse yourself fast in Linux. In this video, I'll show you exactly how the mv command works with real examples that you could follow along with. So let's go ahead and start in a clean demo environment. I'm going to create a directory called mv_demo, change into it, create two files called 1.txt and file2.txt, and then create a folder called folder1. Now we have a simple setup with a couple of files and a directory, and we're ready to start using the mv command. So here on my terminal, we're going to be working from the temp directory. So go ahead and start first by typing in cd /tmp. As you can see here, we're already in the directory. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our mkdir command for mv_demo. We're going to cd into that directory. And then we're going to create two files, file1.txt and file2.txt. We can just simply use touch file1.txt space file2.txt because you can use multiple files with your touch commands, creating multiple files with one fell swoop. And then we're going to also create folder1 with the mkdir command. And then we're going to use the ls command so we can show exactly what is in our folder. The basic syntax for mv is simple. You type mv, then the source, then the destination. Think of it as take this thing and put it over there. Let's move file1.txt into folder1. So let's go ahead and run mv file1.txt and then folder1, and then run ls. We don't have a file1.txt in this folder, but if we type in ls folder1, you'll see that we have file1.txt inside the folder1 folder. Now here's where most beginners get tripped up. Let's say I want to rename file2.txt to notes.txt. I use the exact same command. I type mv, then file2.txt, and then notes.txt. So we have mv space file2.txt, then notes.txt. Type in the ls command. You will see that file2.txt was renamed to notes.txt. Simple as that. So what happened? The file didn't move anywhere. It stayed in the same directory, but the name changed. That means mv also acts as a rename command. So here's the key idea. If your destination is just a new name in the same directory, mv renames the file. If your destination is a different location, mv moves the file. Now let's continue both ideas. I'm going to take notes.txt and move it into folder1, but also rename it at the same time. I can do that in a single command by specifying the new path and the new name together. For example, mv space notes.txt space folder1 / renamed.txt, and they'll run the ls command all folder1, and then you will see that we have a file called renamed.txt inside of folder1. After running that command, if I list folder1, I'll see that the file inside that directory with the new name. This is where mv becomes really powerful because you can reorganize and rename files in one step. Now, there's something important you need to be careful with. If you move a file to a location where a file with the same name already exists, mv will overwrite it by default. There's no warning, which means you can accidentally lose data. So to prevent that, you can use the -i flag. That stands for interactive mode. When you use mv-i, the system will ask you before overwriting anything. This is a good habit when you're starting out. For example, let's go ahead and create the test file, touch space test.txt, and then touch space folder1 / test.txt. And now we're going to use the mv-i command to move test.txt to folder1. As you can see here, there's already a test.txt inside of folder1. So the terminal would ask us, do we want to overwrite this? Here, I'm going to say no. I just saved deleting perhaps an important file in folder1. Finally, you can also use mv to move or rename entire directories. The same rules apply. If you give it a new name in the same location, it renames the directory. If you give it a different path, it moves the directory. For example, let's do mv folder1 to folder2, then run ls. As you see here, folder 1 was renamed to folder 2. So to recap, the mv command does two things. It moves files and directories and it renames them. The difference comes down to what you provide as the destination. If it's the same location with a new name, you're renaming. If it's a different location, you're moving. This is one of the most commonly used commands in Linux, and once you understand this behavior, it becomes very intuitive. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next one here on youtube.com/@KelleyParker.